Welcome to the Magic of Positive Thinking, a podcast hosted by Norb Savannasini, founder of AmericanEagle.com, and writer Al Edwards. Norb, have you been outside today? I know you don't live here in this building.
Yeah, well, the first thing, we always start the day thanking God for this gift he gives me. And this is a cold gift.
Exactly.
But you know what? Looking at the positive side, this is Chicago.
Right.
This is almost the middle of December.
Right.
And we've survived that. But just think of the people in Malibu and big stars are fleeing their homes right now.
Right.
And their homes are like 20 million, 25 million or so. I'm thankful very much for not having that problem.
Right.
So not that I wish anybody to have that problem. So I'll take a little cold weather. It's not a big deal. You dress correctly, and this is a present we get every day. And sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's hot. So, enjoy it.
That's right. And it always gives you perspective that it could be worse or someone else is going through a lot worse than you are.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I just want to mention, we got a wonderful email from a lady that we don't know. I still don't know who she is. We did have her email address, and I did send her a thank you note, but she sent it to info@AmericanEagle.com, which is primarily used as one of our sales emails, right?
Right. Yeah.
And this lady said that she has listened to every bit of our show, every one of our shows 3 times.
Yeah.
And what an impact it's made on her. And I got to tell you.
One of them, she listened to it 4 times.
4 times.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do the math. 30 minutes times 33 plus 4 times 30. So that's a lot of time in her life.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And then we did get a comment that wasn't positive, but I whoever said it, I want them to know the reason for it. They said, well, we keep repeating the same thing. And absolutely we keep repeating the same thing because that's what the show is about. It's just like if you listen to the night news on NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox, CNN, whatever, you hear the same things all the time. Okay, so this is what we do. We talk about being positive because being positive has to be reinforced, just like when you tell a kid, and this is, by the way, I'm repeating this because I've said it on other shows, you have to tell a kid over 2,000 times to say thank you and please before they automatically do it.
Right.
So just for the people who say we repeat things, absolutely. Okay.
Well, the people who said this are actually big fans of the show and they mean us no harm, but it did make me a little sensitive to the fact that I want to make sure I went through all 34 of our shows or 33 of them and made sure that the title did not repeat itself. So that's a good thing.
Right. Well, you're a very sensitive guy.
I am.
Yeah. I'm not as sensitive.
I'm easily hurt. You got to be careful with me. Anyway, friends, as we alluded to with the cold weather, it is December. And of course, with December comes Christmas and Hanukkah and all the various holidays. And I like this time of year. I like people getting together and expressing their gratitude for one another. And what are your thoughts about that, Norb?
Well, it's really a wonderful, wonderful time of the year. And, you go by and we live in Chicago and people here, amazingly enough, as cold as it is, they usually wait for a warm weekend and they decorate the daylights out of their homes. It's really beautiful. The trees are bare and, it's incredible when you look at these trees that are bare and you know that when spring comes, they come alive again. And it doesn't matter what the politics are. It doesn't matter what anything is. Spring will spring. And I love that. Just the hope to see it again. It's fantastic.
Spring has sprung every year, no matter what.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Christmas lights, there is a suburb nearby where I grew up, and of course where Norb lived for nearly 50 years. And it's for many years, it was predominantly a Jewish area.
Irish too.
Irish too.
Yeah, Irish.
But I remember growing up, this town was known for their incredible displays of Christmas
just
lights.
Incredible. Yeah, in fact, there were traffic jams.
Right.
Because people would come from all over the Chicagoland.
Right.
Just to see this. And it was funny. And people, some of them didn't even want to go in the car, so they walked. And
they walked around.
About miles.
Right.
Yeah.
And some of the people that had the best Christmas displays were the Jewish families.
Oh,
that lived there. So,
I have a very good friend that's very proud that he had one of the best displays.
There you go. I love that. Well, friends, given the Christmas spirit here, the title of today's show is Give and Get So Much More in Return. And we thought this was kind of a neat show because, we know the religious origins of gift giving. It has to do with the Bible and the story and everything. Of the humble carpenter from the plains of Galilee, as Earl Nightingale once said. But, we do it as a tradition, but at the same time, sometimes we kind of lose track of why we're giving or what we're doing. Sometimes you feel obligated, you don't know. So I thought in the giving season, we would talk about some great benefits that you as a giver receive by giving, not presents, but giving your time, giving your attention, volunteering, whatever it happens to be. So, Norb, you had a couple things you wanted to talk about first.
Well, it's kind of funny. I like quotes, and obviously, we always say this also. We don't plan the show, but, Al has an idea, and I actually look at quotes, and this is something everybody can do, okay? But there are some, I discriminate between the quotes I like and the ones I don't like. And there's some that are really incredible. And this is Pablo Picasso, which is kind of funny because...
He did a little painting, didn't he?
Yeah. And you never think of him as saying something deep or anything, but he said, the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away.
Wow.
Isn't that beautiful?
That is beautiful. I've never heard that before.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm here.
That's why you're here.
To educate
right.
you a little. Yeah. No, I mean, with all sincerity, we're not only talking about giving a physical thing, we're giving yourself to people.
Right. Repeat that, would you? Say that again.
What?
The quote from Picasso.
Oh, the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away.
Wow. That is really beautiful.
And it's really, really interesting. Some of these quotes, it's incredible. Mother Teresa, who I quoted before because she had some incredible quotes. It's not how much we give, but how much love we put into giving.
Wow.
Isn't that beautiful?
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's really, it's really kind of nice to see these quotes because when you think about it, it's really nice. There's some other quotes here that I'm reading that's incredible. Kindness is the language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see.
Man, you are just batting 1,000 here today with
that
these.
was Mark Twain.
Wow.
Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. So go ahead.
Good
say
old
something.
Mark. Usually you never have to tell me to say something, which is unfortunate. But no, my God, those are beautiful. And they tie right into what we're talking about today. And as Norb said, I just picked up some research and it said, volunteering your time, money, or energy to help others doesn't just make the world better. It also makes you better. Studies indicate that the very act of giving in some way, like I said, whether that be time, money, or energy, giving back to your community boosts your happiness, health, and sense of well-being. And I don't know if we'll get through all 10 of these, but I've got 10 things that giving to others benefits you.
Yeah, it's, and again, it's giving of yourself, just being nice to somebody. We had a show about Leo Buscaglia here, and here's a quote that's really beautiful from him. He says, "Too often we underestimate the power of a touch, a smile, a kind word, a listening ear, an honest compliment, or the smallest act of caring, all of which have the potential to turn a life around.
Right.
And when we talk about giving a little kindness, just being nice to somebody is an act of giving. And I think it's very, very important, especially this time of the year. I think it should be all year, but at this time of year, it's very important. I went shopping the other day.
I was going to ask you to tell that story.
Yeah, and it was something I don't enjoy to do because I have a huge amount of people I have to buy gifts for. And
I hope I'm on that list.
I have to. No, you're not. Thank God. But
darn it, another year.
I met this lady that was the cashier at a big store, and she happened to be a black lady who had a great smile on her face, and I bought a couple of things, and she asked me, "Oh, do you have a family?" And we started talking, and I had her laughing, and she was making jokes, and I was making jokes, and the funny part about it, there were people behind me waiting for me to get done, and this lady and I were just having a lot of fun. And she said, "You made my day." And I said, "Well, thank you." I said, I think you made my day too, because you're so pleasant. In fact, just tell your superior that a guy by the name of Norb said you should get a raise." And she was laughing, and the people behind were laughing. So, it was kind of a tremendous experience, because obviously it wasn't planned. And of course, this lady all day long at a cash register, and that's going to be one of the most boring jobs in the world. And she was really nice, and she made my life, better.
Right.
And then there was a gal behind me, and she was laughing like crazy. And when I left, I said, "You got a really nice person to deal with now." So there were a lot of people happy from just that one happening. So it was a nice thing. Yeah, I told you about it, and I'm glad you reminded me,
And, it's funny because I had the exact same, not same, but I had a very similar situation. I went to the urgent care recently, believe it or not, because I had a sore tongue. Somehow I bit my tongue or something while I was sleeping. I know you're going to say it's from eating. I know that. So.
Well, you're one of the few guys I know that eats while they're sleeping.
It saves time to eat while you're sleeping.
Right.
But I bit my tongue in the back. It was very painful. And I went to the urgent care, and I was waiting. And of course, there's always people there with all kinds of ailments and everything. And I noticed that the check-in lady was the most pleasant, compassionate, friendly person there was. And she said, "Oh, I'm so sorry for the wait. Thank you for your patience. How can I help you?" And then the person said whatever they're there for. And then she said, "Oh, yes, my son has that sometimes, and it's hard." And I came up and told her about my bum tongue, and she was saying the same things to me. And I stopped her, and her name was Lori, as it turns out. And I said, "Lori, I want to tell you something. You are really outstanding. You just are making a huge impact on people by doing what you do." And I just thought it was a really beautiful thing, especially in an urgent care, because you're sick and you're not feeling well. And for this person to, like you said, the person at the cash register doing it all day long, right? This lady's checking in people all day long. And she took the time every time to say something nice and compassionate and friendly to that person. And I wanted her to know that I appreciated that. And she said, "You just made my whole week." People just need to hear stuff like that.
Yeah, and the nice thing about this is it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
You meet somebody, you have a smile on your face, and if they're grouchy or something like that, and just don't repeat what they're doing to you. Don't repeat it. Just think positively, and walk away if they're too sour,
right?
Yeah.
And didn't you feel, and this ties into the first thing I want to talk about, didn't you feel great after that experience with the lady at the department store?
Oh, of course. Well, that's why I told you the story, and I told I was talking to my daughter on the phone, and I was telling her, I went to this store, and this lady was so nice that it was ridiculous. But and you know what's funny? Not everything in life is great, because as good as this lady was, I actually bought 3 sweaters, and they all had that tag,
Right.
And when I got home and I
security
opened them,
tag.
the security tag.
Yeah.
When I got home, one of the sweaters still had that tag, and now I got a problem that I got to go to the store with a sales slip to take that thing off.
Right.
So
you better bring the slip, because they're going to think that maybe you boosted it.
Oh no, I have the slip.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Or whoever.
By the way, for people who don't know, boosting is a very crude way that is used in Chicago a lot when people steal something. So I just want to clear that up.
Thank you. In case anyone didn't know what that meant, right?
Yeah, right.
Or you cannot return the sweater and have them remove the thing, and then whoever wears it will beep 24 hours a day every time they go through a magnetic field.
Right. And the lady that I was going to give this to is a very classy lady that has the latest. And I was thinking, if I leave that in, everybody will be envious of her, and they'll want to buy the sweater with that security.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's become an accessory.
Exactly.
The security. Because who wants just a regular sweater when you can have one?
Okay, let's talk about positive stuff. Okay.
Well, we're out of control today.
Yeah.
But, it's so true. It does say there's some evidence to suggest that when you help others, it can promote physiological changes in the brain of your brain, the giver, linked with happiness. The heightened sense of well-being might be the byproduct of being more physically active as a result of volunteering, or because it makes us more socially active. It makes us feel good when we give.
Yeah, because there's gratitude on both sides. And I have a quote here by one of my favorite people. This is 2,200 years ago, from Marcus Cicero.
Wow.
Who was a Roman senator or something. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. And I thought that was so deep, I mean, it's incredible how beautiful that is.
If we're looking for wisdom or meaning in the world, so much of it has already been figured out. All we have to do is go on the internet and look for it, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I do. And you know what? If you really feel down, and sometimes we all do, and I do, just go to quotes about being happy, or quotes about anything. The internet is full of this stuff.
Right.
And, this is kind of a interesting thing. The internet is a double-edged sword. It's got some really bad stuff in there. If you want to look at that, it's there. But there's also a lot of good stuff.
Right.
And we always talk about programming your mind. Your mind is like a piece of soil, which is from the strangest secret, which is the foundation of this. And if you put good stuff in that soil, the product will be good. And that's basically just that easy.
Absolutely. And, we've talked about this before, but, the difference, I think, of our show as compared to other positive speakers or positive shows is that, Norb, we actually admit that we all get down, we all get depressed. It's not rah-rah positive all the time. People do feel that way. But as long as you get back on the road and look at life optimistically as a habit, you're going to be so much better off.
Yeah. It goes back to you got to tell the kid 2,000 times before he does it automatically. And
right.
I mean, Al and I have always been friends for a long, long time, and we've always loved being positive. But we talked about this the other day, that we've done this show now for 3 years, and we're more positive now than ever because we just keep talking about this stuff more and more and more. We get reinforced by people saying that they like our show, that they listen to us, and a lot of them listen to them while they're driving. And it's kind of funny because I listen to our old shows while I'm driving. And I have to say that I'm very proud of them. They're good. We don't do any harm or
Right.
everything we talk about hopefully will enrich and make your life better.
As we were saying the other day, I think you and I are better people as a result of it from hearing ourselves. And this is one of the main points of giving. It gives you a sense of purpose. Studies show that volunteering or giving of yourself in some way enhances an individual's overall sense of purpose and identity. This is because helping others can make you feel rewarded, fulfilled, and empowered. And I think that's happened to us as individuals.
Oh, yeah. I think so. It's kind of funny because I'm reading a quote here that fits that. And this is from Ralph Waldo Emerson, who's
the great transcendentalist.
Just a phenomenal guy. He says, "The purpose of life is not to be happy. It's to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well." Now, that's just a beautiful thing to say.
That is just amazing.
Because, and by the way, I want to add to that, I think what he missed in this quote is that when you do those things, you are happy.
Right.
So the goal is not to do it to be happy. The goal is to do it and it will make you happy.
Right.
Okay.
Very few people throughout human history have had an influence that has lasted hundreds or if not thousands of years. And I'm convinced today that if we can make a difference in the time and space that we are living, I think that's the goal of our lives. Because as you've said, we are an ant on the anthill of life. No one's going to know who any of us are in 100 years, maybe even 10 years for me. Who knows, right? But,
right.
If you can make a difference with the people around you and in your lifetime, then you've had a successful life.
Without a doubt. Here's a really incredible quote by Maya Angelou. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel.
I love that.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's really, really very interesting. All these people, the famous people, some of them are famous for being evil, okay? But the people we quote are all very famous people, and they've had a lot of love for life, and,
right.
and they have
and their fellow man
to do the right thing. Yeah.
Well, and that the next point, it says that giving of yourself, and again, whatever that happens to be, giving a gift, giving of your time, giving of your experience, your expertise, or just spending time with someone, they said it's contagious. One study found that people are more likely to perform feats of generosity after observing another do the same. This effect can ripple throughout the community, inspiring dozens of individuals to make a difference. So it's like skipping a rock. You hit one little ripple and it just continues and continues on.
Yeah, it's pretty much like, when you go to church and the guy comes with a basket to give money. I mean, when the first guy gives money and the others, they'd be very embarrassed not to do it.
Right.
It's psychologically a phenomenal way to get money for the
right.
church. Yeah.
I like to sit in the back of the church because then I can make change for myself.
I thought that's because you could run away when the guy comes up close to you.
They usually lock the door closest to me.
Okay.
But see, if you sit in the front, you can't break your bill. That's why I sit in the back, so you can kind of make your change for yourself.
Right. So, that would be funny to actually go into the bag and get change.
Funny, I do it every Sunday. What are you talking about?
Okay. Here's a good one. This is, you pronounce it like Aesop Fables? Aesop?
Oh, Aesop. Aesop's Fables, yeah.
Aesop.
Yep.
No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. Isn't that beautiful?
My gosh.
I mean, these are little things that really, they really mean a lot when you think about it, because, we live in a society where everybody's taught what to do, how to do it, what the process are. I always love these processes that, how to do this. Oh, you have to do this first. This. No, just be nice to people, be kind to people. There's no process.
Right.
I mean, it's just easy to do.
Doesn't cost you a dime.
Nothing. Okay, go ahead.
Well, there's a couple more here, but a couple I want to emphasize. But, they said helping others or giving of yourself can help you live longer. It boosts your self-esteem. But a couple more I just want to read a little bit into. And it says helping others can teach you to help yourself. If you've been through a tough experience or just have a case of the blues, the activism cure is a great way to get back to feeling like yourself. And I've experienced that. If I'm sitting around and I'm feeling sorry for myself, if I can go do something for someone else, I instantly forget about my own troubles and I feel better.
Yeah, it's true. This is a funny quote from somebody that I never expected to have this, from Amelia Earhart.
Oh, the great aviator.
The great aviator who nobody has ever found. I think she's still alive.
Right.
Like with Presley.
With Elvis, yeah. They're running a hot dog stand somewhere.
But she said this: there are 3 things in human life that are important. The first one is to be kind. The second one is to be kind.
Wow.
And the third one is to be kind.
A lot of people wear these shirts now, and it says above, do anything but be kind, or above all else, be kind, or something like that.
Yeah, maybe they got it from Amelia.
I think they did.
Yeah.
I think they did. Well, lastly, it says that it will boost your self-esteem. People who give of themselves have found to have a higher self-esteem and overall well-being. The benefits of giving yourself also depend on your consistency. So the more regularly you give, the more confidence you'll gain. I just think, I just think these are powerful. And then by osmosis, you become a glass is half full person as opposed to a glass is half empty person.
Oh, yeah. And there's a quote here by one of Al's favorite guys, Zig Ziglar.
Zig Ziglar.
And
love Zig.
This is a real interesting, because Zig Ziglar was more of a practical guy that to get results. Okay.
Right.
You can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people to get what they want
first. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Boy, you really picked some ringers here this time.
Well, it's kind of interesting because the more I was reading this stuff, again, it pumps you up. It makes you feel good.
Absolutely.
I feel good. I can't wait to meet anybody that, when I leave this place, the first one will get so much kindness. It'll be unbelievable. They say, what the heck happened?
All right, everyone, meet me downstairs in the employee entrance when Norb leaves, and he'll be extra kind to everyone. I look forward to that. Well, friends, it's been a wonderful year for us on this show, and Norb and I are so grateful that you take some time out of your life to listen to our show. And we hope during the last 12 months that we've made you laugh and made you think and made your life a little better. And Norb, as always, I'm so grateful to you for this opportunity, not only to work at AmericanEagle.com, but have this chance to do this podcast. So I thank you, my friend.
No, thank you. And it's kind of interesting because I've noticed that since you had this injury in your tongue, you're speaking a lot clearer.
Actually, I sounded like a Warner Brothers cartoon character for a while with a speech impediment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I'm doing better. So maybe I'll lose some weight. I won't be able to chew as much too. So. Well, friends, we look forward to seeing you in 2025, and we're going to have a lot of new great shows for you. And until then, for Norb Savannasini, this is Al Edwards, and we will definitely see you next year. Take care.
God bless. Okay.